And we are live. What's going on? It's Chris and Emily from LifterLMS, and you know what day it is? It's Feature Friday. In today's session, we're going to go over an introduction to full site editing, which has been around for several years now, but not every WordPress user is using a full site editing theme or taking full advantage of the block editor and all of the interesting things you're going to do in full site editing. I'm actually a big fan of full site editing because it allows me as a non-developer to do things like customize my header and my footer or create a new template I want to use for like a landing page as an example, or to modify an existing template without having to write any code, which is the way you used to have to modify templates on your website. Full site editing also gives you a lot of design controls and layout power that you can leverage. It's super powerful. It does take a little bit of a learning curve to learn how to do all the newer full site editing things. In that light, we're going to do a series on different aspects of full site editing over the next several Feature Fridays. In this one, our goal is just to go over the basics and give you an introduction to full site editing, why it's here, why it's cool, what are the various parts and pieces of it. And just know that we're going to be making a series of videos where we go deeper into the various aspects of full site editing. But Emily's going to give us an introduction of full site editing, and we'll go from there. If you have questions, drop them in the comments below. That can help us with the next series of videos that we make about full site editing to make sure your questions are answered. Over to you, Emily.
Thanks. So pulling up the full site editing screen, we're going to be talking about like what is full site editing replacing, where to access the full site editor, what happens to some of the legacy items from WordPress, give you a tour of the full site editing options, and where you can find these full site editing themes. So we have 5 things to cover today. The first one, what is full site editing replacing? You might remember back in 2014, pre-2014 days, WordPress themes had their own individual settings. So what you would do is head to Appearance and then Theme Settings, depending on which theme you had. May it be LifterLMS Launchpad, or I think Genesis did it. There were a bunch of themes that had their own theme settings. I know Enfold, that was a popular one that had their own theme settings. Every theme had a different settings panel styled differently. And then we moved into Astra and Cadence. These themes offer customizer experiences where you go Appearance, Customize. You see that white screen that says Customize, where you can do your styles on the left-hand side. We could even take a tour of what these kind of customizers look like. So in the customizer, we're going to see, let's load it up here. This is what our customizers look like. This is approximately like 2014 to 2020 is when this was like the thing to do. And you probably still have a customizer or have experienced a customizer theme. And then pre-customizer era, you had something like Launchpad, which we did add a customizer to, but what you'd more popularly see is this individually styled theme setting. Now with LifterLMS SkyPilot and full site editing themes, we advance even further into having all themes that are full site editing have a similar editor experience by going to Appearance Editor. And this is what that experience is going to look like. It's reminiscent of the customizer that we've grown used to, but it also has some other features. But you can see it kind of mimics the customizer to some degree, but our options are a bit different. And these will be the same options no matter what full site editing theme you're using. Jumping into a quick tour of full site editing options. Navigation is where you'll edit your menus. Styles is where you'll edit things like typography and colors and backgrounds on your website. Pages eventually will be the place where you come to edit your pages, rather than the WordPress backend has a little pages navigation that we've grown used to over the years right here on pages. Eventually that will likely turn into just Appearance Editor pages is where you would find a place to edit your pages. Right now, you can do the same thing in both places. And then templates and patterns. Templates are going to be layouts for your archives, for your LifterLMS lessons. You can create a full width template, a narrow width template. You can make your own templates and apply them to blog posts or pages or lessons. The templates is a new concept with full site editing. It's a new concept to WordPress. If you used Elementor, Divi, Beaver Builder, these page builders have included templates for years, and now WordPress is taking on that advancement in the core product with full site editing. And then patterns are pieces of templates, basically. So if you wanted to save a layout and use it in another location, that would be a pattern. Or you could even use a synced pattern, which would keep it the same. I had a client who had a workbook, like an index of this massive page that was like a 200-page workbook, and it also was a course. So they had reusable or synced patterns on their massive page, and then they also took those same patterns into their individual lessons. So they would require their students to go through the workbook one by one in lessons, and then later reference the workbook on this massive document with a table of contents. And they used the synced patterns to make sure that if they updated content in one place, it would update in the other place. We'll talk about that more later. But at a high level, those are the things you're going to be editing in your full site editing options. And so you can access the full site editor like you saw from Appearance Editor on the back end of WordPress, Appearance Editor, or if you're on the front end of your website, there's this Edit Site option up here at the top in the admin bar. If you click on Edit Site, it will take you specifically to the page or template that you clicked on. So you can see the page is the home page that I'm editing, and I guess I have a template for the home page. So this is where I can come in and edit the home page. One thing that's new with full site editing is an understanding of the content area. This is the actual content of the home page will display here. So right now we're editing the template for the home page, not necessarily the home page itself. The template includes the header and the footer. You can see those are special blocks highlighted in purple. And then the content area will be whatever we have for the actual page content for my home page. So if I find my home page right here, and if I wanted to edit this, this is going to be the content that goes in the content area. Then where we can find full site editing themes. LifterLMS SkyPilot is one full site editing theme that we provide at LifterLMS. You won't find it in the backend of WordPress, but there are a lot of themes in the backend of WordPress for free that you can grab. Appearance themes, add theme. And I'll talk about SkyPilot here in a moment. Block themes is a filter up here at the top. And these are going to be our full site editing themes. But you can find on private repos online. You can buy access to LifterLMS SkyPilot or other block editing themes. The features of LifterLMS SkyPilot go beyond what these themes will usually offer by adding a deeper integration with LifterLMS, customized styles that are prepared for LMS site owners to get you going off the ground quickly. So we've invested a bunch of compatibility and a bunch of features into LifterLMS SkyPilot, which is why we charge for that as a premium theme at LifterLMS. But fundamentally, it follows the same full site editing framework that the themes in front of us will follow. So you could start with this theme here. You could jump over to Spectral FSE. You could do Spectra 1 or Bluehost Blueprint and switch over to SkyPilot eventually. Switching from theme to theme going forward when you're using the full site editing framework is much easier because you'll retain all of your styles. Right now, if you want to make the switch from Cadence to Astra as a theme, you're going to have a lot of reformatting to do. But with full site editing, that reformatting is so minimal. So if you build your site with a SkyPilot or full site editing theme today going forward, changing themes 1 year, 3 years, 5 years from now is going to be a lot easier. But yeah, that's an overview of the full site editing. What do you think about that, Chris? Oh, you're muted.
That's perfect, Emily. Thank you for the great tour and the history lesson. Sometimes when we work in WordPress, all the time, we don't realize how much has changed and evolved, but a lot has happened. We are going to be going deep on things like styles and templates and patterns and give you more detailed tutorials in the next Feature Fridays. I am going to throw myself a curveball. If you could pull up your screen, Emily, just do a Google search for Theme Switcher Pro.
Yeah.
I just want you to know that if you want to try out full site editing themes, but you're not able to, or you don't want to switch your whole site at once, this is a new tool that the talented team at Web Dev Studios made. And we actually worked with them with the redesign of the LifterLMS website. But this is a really cool tool. So you, basically, if you're on an older theme like Astra or Cadence, and you wanted to try a more modern full site editing theme like SkyPilot, but you're not quite ready to switch over your whole website, Theme Switcher Pro is really powerful in that you can say, hey, I just want the Lifter LMS pieces to be SkyPilot, but not the rest of my marketing site. Or even just, I want to experiment with a full site editing on one page of my site, but not necessarily switch my whole theme all at once. This is a really cool innovation to help make a transition if you're, switching between any themes or want to run multiple themes for different reasons. It's a really neat, powerful tool and innovation from Web Dev Studios. So that's it for this Feature Friday. We're going to be doing more on full site editing and really go into all the pieces around that. Thanks for checking out this video. Smash the like button, tell your friends, drop a comment down below. Let us know your full site editing and Gutenberg questions. We're here to help, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care.